Hey, welcome back to the Studio, Fresh Souls, Sins, and AKA.
Today.
Uh oh. That was your rap name,
That
right?
was my rap name back in the day.
AKA Uh-oh.
Right. You didn't know, but
Now you know.
now you know.
And this is Abel.
Yes.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Abel is a lot of things. Abel is a DJ. Abel is a computer maniac. He's also a Lego maniac. I mean, I made that part up.
Yeah.
But the reason he's here is he is a distance runner, which is something I am not. I know Jeremy's ran 5 or
Right.
6 different marathons.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh, wait, no, you haven't.
Oh.
No. We're not runners.
I'm still faster than Abel, though.
Yeah. So he kills me.
To the refrigerator, maybe.
Yes, or the buffet line.
Right, there you
Bathroom.
go. Either way. But in all seriousness, Abel has been running competitively his entire life. So what I want to ask, first question, is just give us a little rundown of your accolades, so that way people know that you're legit here.
Okay. My biggest highlight is probably when I was 16 years old. I was chosen for the U.S. Junior National Delegation to Australia for cross country. So I went there for about 3 months and trained and acclimated to the weather and ran a few races there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It's an experience. I was also in Who's Who in the state of Ohio for high school athletics for all 4 years that I was in school.
Cool.
I made it to AAU Nationals every single year from freshman year through senior year for relays, 4x400, 4x800, mile, 2 mile.
You're a sprinter as well, then.
In high school, I had leg turnover.
Okay.
In high school, I could do an 11-second 100, which is ridiculous for a distance, runner.
Yeah.
But,
well, high school, 11 seconds is pretty quick.
yeah, it's pretty quick.
Takes me 11 seconds. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did some running at the University of Toledo.
Okay.
I've run in Colorado at the university out there. And I took a lot of time off after college. Didn't do a whole lot as far as training is concerned, and just recently got back into hardcore training, and now I'm training for Boston qualifier at the Glass City Marathon.
Cool. What does that entail? Like, how quick do you have to do?
For my age group, the qualifying time is 3 hours and 10 minutes, which is roughly 7:10 per mile. My goal, my immediate goal is to break 3 hours, which is 6:51.
Wow.
But I really want to run like 2:45, which is like 6:34 pace, something around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Per mile.
That's
Per mile. Yep.
That is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that's a good segue into what we're here to talk about. 2 shoes that are distance running shoes. Definitely something I don't have in my library or repertoire. Not part of my collection, so I thought Abe would be a good person to come in and talk about these shoes because I've heard a lot of hype about both of them. Both are very different, not in just styling, but which I can't even say it with a straight face. But in functionality as well.
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
a fair statement?
Yeah, they are on completely different ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
They're both distance shoes, but the Hoka that we're going to talk about later is a little bit more of an ultra distance shoe as opposed to your normal 5K, 10K,
Okay.
half marathon that you can do with the Vaporfly.
All right. Right on. So, would you like to start off with the metrics?
So we're going to base these. Abel's going to go more into them, obviously, because, the only way I do a marathon is in a Goodyear type of shoe.
I do like Netflix marathons.
Netflix.
just like watching as many Netflix episodes in a row as I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My thumb gets to work.
Right.
So we're going to go over performance, fit, availability, price, and looks.
Right.
Abel's going to take majority of them. We're going to jump in here and there, maybe give our thoughts and input on it. But he is the expert on these, on more of these distant running shoes.
Okay.
So I think his assessment will be more than fair versus ours.
Agreed. So how about performance? Where would you put, say, the 4% Flyknit?
Out of 10, I would say the 4% Flyknit is about a 9.5.
Okay.
There are areas for improvement, especially with longevity.
Okay.
Speaking of longevity, it all depends on your body type when you're running in these type of shoes.
Sure. So what you're saying is like a guy like you might get a couple more miles out of him than, say, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'd probably get double the mileage.
Okay.
So I'm getting something out of it.
You're getting something out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Right.
They're not going to go to waste. I'll say that.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I do know that you made a video, and I saw you posted a video on Facebook.
Yep.
When you put these on, and what really struck me was, it was right after the first time you ran any distance in them, right?
Yep.
If I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were flabbergasted.
Yeah. Extremely.
And not just because of the performance, but how different of a shoe it was.
Yeah.
Like how it felt when you were running.
They feel like nothing I've ever worn before.
Okay. So since we're still on the performance, what made the Flyknit Vaporfly? What made them different than, say, I don't know, Pegasus?
They advertise the full-length carbon fiber plate.
Okay.
And it adds a lot of rigidity to the sole.
Okay.
It's something to get used to.
Is it like
when
a
you're running.
springy feeling?
It's very springy.
Okay.
Especially if you're a heel striker, because you tend to bend the sole a little more. You'll get more of the arc from the heel to toe transfer.
Gotcha.
But that snappiness that you get from the carbon fiber plate in the front forefoot is it's tremendous.
Awesome.
It's like nothing I've ever felt in another running shoe.
Is there any break-in time with it?
I think every shoe should have a little bit of break-in time. This is debatable. I would say if you're going to grab a new pair of shoes, Vaporfly or not, and you're going to run in them, keep your runs to between 4 and 6 miles and put about 25 miles on the shoe before you really take them out for anything over 10 miles.
Okay. And real quick, let's touch on the Hoka. Different kind of shoe. What is the performance like 1 to 10 on the Hoka?
I would say on the Hoka, about 8.5, and that's comparing it directly with the Vaporfly.
Okay, so pretty good.
Yeah, it's a decent shoe. It's a very good shoe.
Okay. And what the differences I see in the two shoes, kind of the midsole size.
Yeah.
So does that affect cushioning?
I think the material affects cushioning more than the actual size of the midsole. With the Nike Vaporfly having a Zoom X midsole and the Hoka having a full-length EVA compression molded midsole.
Okay.
It's a little the sole itself is a little less forgiving in the Hoka.
Okay.
And it will take more time to break that down to where it becomes a very plush and very soft ride under your foot.
Okay. So 9.5 for the Vaporfly at 4%, and the Hoka gets what, an 8.5?
8.5.
8.5.
I feel like this is more of a shoe for a big guy.
It'll definitely work if you're a heavier runner.
Okay.
That shoe is made for ultra distance, anything half marathon and over. I would recommend it for. Whereas the Vaporfly, if you're a little bit heavier runner, you're going to break down the midsole a lot faster. And I would recommend the Vaporfly for anything from, your speed workouts, mile track races, anything like that, all the way up to marathon distance. Anything over that, I would try and maybe steer away from it.
I think it's funny that there's something over marathon distance. Like someone would choose to run more than, what is it,
26.2 miles.
Yeah, that seems pretty. I don't like driving that far. Yeah,
I don't even like running 15 miles.
That's farther than my drive to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Like literally. So,
Going to fit.
and I live on the other side of the city from work.
So let's go into fit.
Fit wise, let's do the Nike first.
Okay, the fit wise with the Vaporfly 4% Flyknit, because of the material it's made out of, I give it a 10.
Okay, so the stretchiness of the material,
Like
the Flyknit. I'm a big fan of Flyknit.
I love Flyknit. It's so comfortable.
Right.
so true to size.
Yeah, it's true size. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you wear, what size is this?
I wear a 10.5.
And this is a 10.5.
That's a 10.5.
And it fits your foot perfect.
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I've got a very narrow foot. I've got no arch. And because of the way the material is knit,
Yeah.
it provides some of that arch support that I need.
Okay.
It's got some internal heel material that locks your foot in place that the original OG Vaporfly didn't have.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So a little improvement.
That's
Yes.
good. That's good to know. That's
Very
good.
much improvement in
Good
fit.
information.
Yep.
And the Hoka.
Hoka Fit is a 7, and the reason I say that, I've got about 4 times the mileage on the Vaporflies that I do on the Hokas.
Okay.
And I do experience hot spots with the Hoka. Meaning there's friction points, pressure points in the shoe.
Oh, okay.
Where it rubs, where after you do 10
I call them
miles,
stingers.
your feet start to get hot. They get very hot.
Okay. All right.
Now, if you pick that shoe up, I recommend finding a good sock to pair it with, something thin. Don't run without socks because you're going to get blisters.
Okay.
One improvement I think they need to make, and they should make in the next edition of that shoe, is some kind of knit upper or some kind of booty type construction, just like the Vaporfly.
Yeah,
I think that shoe would be extremely, extremely comfortable.
I like booty construction.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't?
Right. So availability. I know that these are pretty limited. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Extremely limited.
How limited?
That's a tough one for you guys if you want to buy them. The Crimson that are on the table now, very, very, very limited because they were the first color to come out in the 4% Flyknit.
Okay.
The Navy Blue, which is also available in North America, is a low runner. However, I can still pick up my size in the Navy Blue, which is 10.5.
Okay.
A lot of places out there carry them.
Nike.com.
Nike.com,
Okay.
those type of places. There's some other ones that people are looking at, like the Ekiden pack, which is from Japan, which is very hard to get.
Okay.
And if you do get them, they're going to run you $450 to $500 a pair, which is ridiculous in my book, but it is what it is.
Well, you're talking to a bunch of shoe guys.
Then again, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then again,
get
if you want to get somewhere near the same performance, the new version of the Zoom Fly Flyknit has the exact same carbon fiber plate. They moved from the existing nylon plate with the infused carbon fiber to the exact same plate, just a little bit different shoe.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to run in them. I probably will buy a pair and maybe revisit this with the Vaporfly.
Okay.
Or the Zoom Fly.
And availability for the Hokas.
I'd say those are
1 out of 10.
10.
Okay.
Very readily available. You can buy them online at Hoka. You can get them any respected running shoe shop.
Okay.
Anywhere online, really.
Okay. So if I wanted to go online and grab a pair of the Hokas.
You could do it right now.
And this is the Hoka 1-1.
This is the One Bondi 6.
Bondi 6.
Which is their most plush shoe that they make.
Okay. Okay.
So.
And the price point on both of these, again, start with the Nike, 1 out of 10.
I'd say about a 9. You get what you pay for.
Okay.
There is, like I said, room for improvement. And that being said, they could drop the price a little bit. I mean, I would be willing to.
What is the retail?
Retail on these is $250, so you're looking at about $268 with tax.
Okay.
I'd be willing to pay $225, $230 for these all day long.
Okay. So they're not too far off.
No, they're not too far off.
And then
the Hoka.
With the Hokas, they're not too far off as well. About a 9.
Okay.
They run about $160. So you're going to pay like $170, $172 with tax.
Less than an Ultra Boost.
Less than an Ultra Boost. Again, that being said, with some of the improvements they could make to the upper and fit, I'd be willing to pay $150 for these all day.
All right. Cool. And the last metric here, Jeremy and I are going to field.
Right. It's something we can actually talk about.
It's something we can talk about, and let's face it, neither of these shoes are built to look awesome.
No.
All right.
And
now, Nike does a really good job in infusing functionality with looks.
I agree.
Okay. They always have, let's face it. They make some really good high-end running shoes that look pretty awesome. In my opinion, this is one of them. All right, so I'm gonna stick with a 9.
Yep. I also give it a 9. I think the cut of the shoe is very slick. I love how the Nike sign goes down into the midsole.
Yep.
I love that it is Flyknit.
Yep.
And I could wear that shoe casually. I feel like I could wear a pair of cargo shorts
for sure. One of the details I like about this shoe actually is this. Yeah, I don't know if you can really see it, but the boat tail heel that Nike's actually putting on a lot of their functional running shoes right now. I think that's a cool look. As you can see, these are used, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. But it kind of comes to the point at the end.
Yep.
So definitely a cool feature, in my opinion. So the Hoka Oni Bondi 6.
The AKA Sketcher.
I didn't say it. Are we allowed to say Sketcher?
We just did.
Okay. Where are you at on that?
Ah, man. It is chunky. I mean, I guess the dad shoe trend is in right now, right?
I suppose so.
But not this one. I think it is more performance, right? You know, so and that's what it goes for. So it functions for that. As for a casual shoe, I don't think I could rock it. Your opinion?
I'm at a 2 out of 10. It's a god awful looking shoe.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be a dick.
Be honest.
But they're awful.
Yeah,
like, and this isn't even the worst looking Hoka that Hoka makes. But Hoka is not in the business, and I want to make sure I point this out.
Right.
They are not in the business of making pretty shoes.
No, they're selling shoes to runners.
Yes, these shoes were developed by runners for people that have pain in hips, knees, back.
You can definitely use them when you're recovering from injuries, that type of thing.
Right.
They're a very plus shoe.
So for me, that's why we put looks last, and that's why we're just kind of joking around about it. Neither one of these shoes is based on aesthetics, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
I have no qualms with the Skechers dad shoe running shoe.
No.
So
It has its purpose, right? So
it certainly does have its purpose.
It's more of a functional shoe.
Just a couple real quick questions, and then we got to get out of here. We're running a little long in the tooth. Couple things I wanted to ask you about. When you talk about a drop on a running shoe, what does the drop mean?
Oh, well, what we're talking about basically is we're talking about the millimeter distance in the stack from the heel to the toe.
So if you run a straight line from here forward, is the difference between...
The difference between the two.
Okay.
Whereas in the Vaporfly, you've got a 10 mil drop. Okay. I'm not really sure the stack height here, but there is a 10 mil difference from the stack height in the heel to the forefoot.
Okay. And so that would pitch you forward a little
That
more?
would pitch you forward, definitely.
Okay.
So kind of like a muscle car.
Like a what?
Muscle car.
Yeah. Like...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought it was. I know some people don't...
Yeah, a lot of people don't take that type of thing into account.
Right. And it does make a difference running, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Moving forward to more neutral shoes and more natural shoes.
Yeah.
The companies are starting to make these shoes where they're next to zero drop. Like the Hoka is a 4 mil drop. It looks like it's super chunky. And really it's not. There's a 4 mil difference between the heel and the forefoot.
Okay.
And what that does is that the less difference in the stack height allows you to maintain a more natural gait.
Right.
So you're running the way you would normally run even without shoes on.
Awesome. Okay. And I see we post every day on Facebook about our workouts that we do. Abel's part of a group that I'm in. And you often talk about recovery runs.
Yes.
Now, from a weightlifter point of view, recovery doesn't mean going to the gym and lifting again.
Right.
Whereas for a runner, a recovery run is a run after a run to recover from a run.
Exactly.
So how does that work?
So I'll explain that a little bit. I had a 15-mile long run on Friday of last week.
Okay.
That pace was 7:29 per mile. I came back the next day and did a 5 1/4 recovery run faster. It was 7:18 per mile.
Oh.
But because it's a recovery run, my recovery runs are always about 10 seconds faster than my long runs.
Okay.
So I'll always be about 7:18 right now in my training program.
Does that mean like a recovery for your body?
what it is it's to keep your muscles in tune.
Okay.
It helps with like lubricity of your joints,
Okay.
like your hips and
Sure,
whatnot.
sure.
It keeps you from tightening up, and it basically it gets the soreness out. It gives you a stretch, that type of thing, and it also helps with the mental game. You know, you just did a 15-20 mile run on a treadmill. You come back and you do, you know, a 5 1/4 recovery a little bit faster, and you realize, hey, I don't hurt as much.
Okay.
I'm not feeling like I did, you know, 15 miles all out and I can barely, you know, stand.
Right.
I can actually come back and run.
I got you.
So
All right.
it's
so,
a huge
cool.
mental, you know, benefit to that too.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Do you have any closing statements, sir?
I do want to make one more observation about the Vaporfly.
Okay.
I do want to throw out a recommendation. If anybody out there is suffering from plantar fasciitis or bone spurs or shin splints,
Yep.
and you want to continue running while you're injured, pick up a pair of the Vaporfly. I had horrible shin splints, bone spurs in my left heel, and plantar fasciitis, and I couldn't run. I couldn't find a pair of shoes I could run in. I couldn't do anything. I was beyond upset because I wanted to continue my training.
Sure.
So I saw these and I pulled the trigger, even though they are, in my opinion, expensive. And I was able to train through that pain, and now I don't have any issues whatsoever.
That is an awesome
Absolutely
endorsement.
none. Yeah.
For a shoe. Well, thank you for coming in, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Very solid review on both shoes. I hope everybody learned something. I know I did.
I did too.
Jeremy, do you have any closing remarks?
I don't. I think I'm pretty real good.
Pretty
good.
distance
Pretty
shoe
distance.
run out. Is that a thing?
Maybe one day I'll.
Fair enough.
Now you're both a little more knowledgeable.
That's true.
I'm glad that you came in and could school us on running.
I'm
So,
glad you had me.
video number 5, marathon shoes. That's really all I got. All right.
Thank you.
Signing out.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.